Yeah, pretty sure I'm recording. Alrighty, we're going to try this again for like the third time. I'm not even going to show you the patio plants that the chickens ate. This is my summer squash. I don't think it likes it in the basket, so I'm not going to do that again. Here's a good view of the first raised bed. I have peppers, and you know, Brian, when I was your age, I agreed peppers were worthless, but I've come to like them a little. Not a lot, but a little. So I have one hot pepper. Actually, this is my hot pepper. It just got planted yesterday, so it's way behind everybody else. And these are just orange peppers and, you know, whatever, peppers. My eggplant is back there behind. I wonder if I have thrips like you do, Brian, because something is surely eating my eggplant. I guess I should investigate that. Yeah, well, alright, I should investigate that. This is my squash forest. This is what came up as a volunteer, and I didn't have the heart to pull any of the three. So I have the same problem you do, Brian. I've got some sweet potatoes down there that are going to be overwhelmed with squash. I'm going to cut back the squash on this side so that the poor sweet potatoes have a chance. They're not yams, they're sweet potatoes, so I really want to have some come up this year because I like yams and everything, but sweet potatoes I like better. This is a wonderful winter squash, and it obviously likes it where it is. And the chickens like it too because they hide down underneath in there. I don't know if I have any squash yet. I haven't really looked. There's one that'll be a squash. The chicken is very unhappy. This is my willy-nilly sunflower. Why it grew there, I don't know. Guess the birds dropped it. My garlic is just about to die back, so I'll be harvesting it here in a couple weeks, I guess. The poor strawberries are there. That's my rhubarb plant. So, Brian, you have something to look forward to when your rhubarb plant gets really established, because it gets really big. That's about it here. Let's see. I've got asparagus that's going to seed down there. And my willy-nilly onions. If you ever plant walking onions, realize that they mean what they say. And I pick them out every year, and they come back in various places because they've walked. So it's okay, I don't mind. If I minded, I'd pick them all out. Here's a volunteer tomato in fact, I've got a couple of them here, volunteer tomatoes. So I'm just going to let them go and see what happens. And over there is a whole field of walking onions that I just threw over when I pulled them out of this side. I put them over there, and there they are, growing just fine. There's our pasture. It's beginning to go to seed because it's middle of June. The cows are nowhere to be seen. We have 4 now. Well, they're not there. Let's see. There's our old worthless rooster who can't breathe and can't crow, and almost, if you heard that, that's his crow, and almost can't fertilize an egg. Once in a while he does the job. We have a new rooster. That's one of our black hens. I mean, it's the only black hen. We have an old family, which is that rooster, the black hen, and a Buff Orpington, who I think is maybe laying an egg at the moment. And we have a new family, which is, I don't know where they are. They hide for good reasons, because the hawk is patrolling every once in a while. But anyway, the new rooster is a day late and $1 short for everything. Has been since the day we got him, so we were calling him Dollar. He's just beginning to realize he can crow, and I think it still surprises him. It's just the funniest thing ever. It's not, there's no crow to it, there's no cock-a-doodle-doo to it. It's just this one long screech. So hopefully he'll get it more sophisticated as time goes by. This is the wall garden this year. It's it is what it is. This is mint. I just pull it out when I get tired of it, and it's taken over this little part of the garden, so I'm going to have to control it. That was my peony. Gone, done for the year. This is my hibiscus, which I love, that came back. There's going to be a hydrangea back there. Some parsley. And down in there is, what is it? It's, stuff you make pesto out of. Whatever you make pesto out of. Basil, that's it, basil. And a whole bunch of lemon balm. It's just like mint. So if you don't like lemon balm, never plant it without being in a container. That's my mailbox garden out there. It's pretty good this year, but the gladiolas are all dying. I don't know what I did wrong, but they're not happy, so it is what it is. This is an oak tree that grew as a volunteer, and we've decided to let it be here because we're going to be dead before it gets too big to worry about. and it's we'll just move the stones out to give it room to grow as time goes on, and if we're still here. And let's see, over there is what could be my corn garden. I'm not sure I'm going to keep it up this year. My first planting of corn was basically a failure. I've got 2 or 3 out there, and it's a long way to drag the hose, and I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. And we took out the big bush that was in this little hole here and put in, I see it, we've got a volunteer tomato, so that's good, and some trees that maybe will get planted and maybe won't, and some California poppies and a lot of grass. The grass has been awful this year. Awful, awful, awful. So that's about it for my garden. It's not nearly as organized and wonderful as Brian's, but it gets the job done most of the time. And, I had to show you my cabbage. I did not realize it had cabbage worms, obviously. So I was totally shocked when I came out yesterday and actually looked at it, because I had to pick them all off, and I'm sure I didn't get all of them, but it certainly did damage the cabbage. So I guess we'll have damaged heads of cabbage with worms in the middle. And Brian, these are my beets. I didn't thin them like you need to thin your onions, and it's too late now. It's a lack of discipline on my part when I plant something like this. I just don't have the patience to put one seed in at a time. And so I scatter a seed, and then I think, well, I'll thin it later, and then I don't thin it, and then I end up with beets that are about 1/2 inch wide because there's no room to grow. So, I didn't even show you this whole bed, did I? This is my sweet potatoes, except they're yams here. I've got a couple of echinacea plants. Lots and lots of walking onions. A weird lily that got stuck in there because it didn't have anywhere else to go, and that's where it lives. But it's kind of pretty. And over here are my tomato plants. And that's my potato garden back there. It's doing well. I have 3 tomatoes. Don't remember what they are, but I think one's a cherry and one's I bought a determinant because it produces a whole crop all at the same time. And I'm going to make my hot pepper salsa this year, and it's handy to have a whole crop come at the same time because you don't have to put 2 or 3 tomatoes in the refrigerator and wait for the rest of them to ripen. So I've got a determinate and an indeterminate eating tomato, and my cherry tomato. So that's about it. I think that is it now. Let's see if I actually recorded all this. Love you guys.